Hello. In this video, I'd like to program an arpeggiated bassline sound in the style of this early synthwave uh, type of tracks that you must have heard. What I have in mind is something like a Blue Monday, where you have this like an arpeggiation pattern that um, a value that goes up and down an octave, so bass pattern. So something that could sound like this, and then you could even think of like Mario. So yeah, it sounds fun. So this is how I do it. So I start with a bass sound, sounding like this. Well, I increase the decay all the way up, and then add some low pass filter. All right, and then to achieve that arpeggiation pattern, I use two LFOs. One LFO is to give the bass a plucky sound. So the first LFO, I'm going to use the first LFO to achieve that plucky sound, and the second LFO to achieve the sound, the pitch modulation. So for the plucky sound, I find that the saw wave, saw square, saw waveform works pretty good. And then I would just set the trig mode to trig, and then destination should be to frequency, and the speed. I generally just set the speed to 32 and adjust the multiplier to achieve any modulation speed I care about. Um, so let's just set this to 16, and then just increase the depth to some value. And once you hear what it sounds like, you can adjust um, the depth value, something like this. And then I want to increase the depth to 32. Yeah, we're almost there. So it already sounds pretty good. Nice. And now let's jump over to the second LFO. And in this LFO, let's um, modulate the pitch. So we're gonna go to the oscillator one tune, and um, same the trig mode should be trig again, and because we want two alternating notes, um, the square waveform should be the waveform to use. And again, I'm just gonna set the speed to 32. Um, the depth is a gotcha here. So we want to modulate the pitch 12 steps, right? But note that the LFOs in Elektron, yes, like based in Syntakt, has this negative to positive range. So we if we're going to use a rectangular wave like this, when our value cannot go from 0 to 12, but it can go from -6 to +6, and that would give us a range of 12. So for that, I'm just going to increase the depth to 6, and then I'll go over to the tune and offset the tune by 6. So then what this allows me is to when I trigger a note, the LFO will offset the pitch by six steps. So the tune will end up starting from 0. And then when the LFO is at the highest value, it's gonna increase. It's gonna add 6 to this offset value. 6 plus 6, 12. So this allows me to have a note modulating between 0 and 12 steps, giving me that octave range. And then let's see what it sounds like so far. Okay, we're not hearing a modulation yet, and that's because our BPM, the multiplier, is very low. Okay, when we set the BPM to 8, we hear 2 notes, 2 low and 2 high notes. And if we just to 16, okay, now we're hearing alternative, 1 high and 1 low. But in my case, I like to start with the low note and then go high. So in this case, we have a bunch of options. I guess the most straightforward way to do is to change the start phase. The other thing that you could do is to set the depth to, I guess, -6. Something like, yeah, something like -6 here should start the waveform from a negative value. And we're there. Nope. Okay, now we're there. And then the third way you could do this is to set the speed to the negative. So now, yeah, now we have the pattern. So low. Yeah, sounds good. So that's pretty much it. Just play around with, different LFO values and filter values, maybe like add some sort of like a resonance. For some, extra, um, variety. Just adjust anything to taste pretty much. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy this and, have fun.